my name's Amanda. I work here at Lollipop Cake Supplies, and today we're going to be going through how to temper Couverture chocolate. So today we are using Veliche Couverture chocolate. The main difference between a Couverture chocolate and a compound chocolate like Cadbury, Nestle, that sort of thing, is that a Couverture is made with cocoa butter, whereas your Cadbury's, your compounds are made with an oil, so usually vegetable oil, palm oil, that sort of thing. So because they have cocoa butter in them, we need to temper them, which means we will melt them to a certain temperature and then bring them back down to a certain temperature. And this will stabilize one particular crystal in the chocolate that we want. So the reason we temper chocolate, our Couverture chocolate, is so we get that really nice glossy finish and a really nice snap. And it'll stay nice and hard so it won't melt as soon as we touch it. So first things first, we're going to use a plastic bowl to melt our chocolate in. And the reason we do this is because if you use glass or Pyrex or ceramic, anything like that, it holds the heat too much and will actually make your chocolate burn a little bit because it'll send the temperature, it'll keep heating it, send that temperature too high. So we're going to use a nice plastic bowl and a nice little silicone spatula to stir it. Now to watch me struggle with this every time. All right. Chocolate. All right, this is going to be the boring bit, I'm sorry. So we want to heat this in short bursts. I'm doing 30-second bursts initially until it starts to melt. And then I'm gonna actually just drop that back to 15-second bursts and give it a really good stir in between, because chocolate will often hold its shape but be melted on the inside, so it doesn't look like it's melted, but it actually is melting. So we definitely want to give it a really good stir between each burst. So I'll just check the temperature now with an infrared thermometer, and I'm at 49.8 degrees, so that's perfect. That's exactly where we want it to be. So now, give that a good little stir. I'm gonna add in about a third more of the chocolate into this chocolate to help bring it down. I often do a little bit less chocolate and then build up because I hate having to stir out extra bits of chocolate when it's too cool. So just gonna stir them. Now the biggest thing with tempering chocolate is three factors. It's time, temperature, and movement. So we've got our temperature up to the 50 degrees. Now I'm just gonna slowly just do a little bit of movement through this for the next probably 5 minutes, depending on the room ambient temperature as well. And just slowly melt those little chocolate buttons out with the heat of this chocolate to bring it back down to the between 25 and 27 degrees. This is a lengthy process. If you find your buttons have melted really, really quickly and you're still, chocolate's still quite hot, add some more in and just melt them out as well, and they'll help bring the temperature down. So with this, we have completely reset all the crystals in the chocolate. And we are now trying to encourage the development of just the beta crystal, which is the one that gives us that really nice gloss and that really nice snap. So by adding in some unmelted buttons, they are already actually tempered, so they have the beta crystals in them. And so they're gonna really encourage that beta crystal growth to get us that really, really good temper. All right, so I've got it down now to 27 degrees. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat it up a little bit back up to between 29 and 30 degrees. And the way we do that is your hairdryer. I use my hairdryer more in the kitchen than on my hair. So we're just gonna heat a little bit on the top, give it a little stir and work that heat through until we're back up to the temperature we want. Perfect. All right, so I'm back at 30 degrees. So So we should be nice and tempered now. So the way we check the temper is we dip a little a scraper, or you can use parchment paper, whatever you've got going, dip it in there, and we actually set it aside and see how it hardens. So again, this changes with which chocolate you're using. So dark chocolate sets the fastest, so you wait about 5 minutes to see dark chocolate. Milk chocolate's about 7 minutes, and then white chocolate will take about 9 to 10 minutes to actually see how our temper goes. We don't really want to wait this long, so you can just keep using the hairdryer to keep your chocolate at the right temperature, or you can actually stick it on like a heat pack to just help keep a bit of heat in the bottom as well. And just keep stirring it, keep checking the temperature, and see how we go. Here's one I prepared earlier. So this one, I just dunked it in, scraped it off, gave it a little tap, just to get a really thin amount of chocolate, just so it does set very quickly, so we can see what it looks like. So we're going to be looking at how our little test is going. We want to be looking to see if there's any streaks in there. So if you see any little white streaks, that's actually cocoa butter that hasn't quite tempered properly yet. So I'm having a look, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks actually. And so that is how we test that we have tempered it properly. If there are some streaks in it, just give it a little heat, give it another little stir, and just test again. So now we're going to pour our chocolate into our little mold. I have one of our plastic molds today. Plastic will always be a lot shinier than silicone because chocolate takes on whatever surface it's been put on. So plastic will come out a lot shinier than if you use a silicone mold, and polycarbonate molds will come out even shinier. So we're just going to use a little plastic mold today just to make some little bars because they're cute and easy to do. So all we're going to do is pour our chocolate in. Oops, try not to make a mess. And then when you put your chocolate in the mold, you want to give it a really good hard tap because that's going to get rid of all the air bubbles. They'll all come to the surface and not be on our beautiful presentation side. So I did put a little bit too much in this one, so I'm just going to scrape it just so we get a really nice finish. And I've just put some baking paper on the bench so we don't waste our chocolate. And at this point of the bars, we can put some little things on top just to decorate it. So you can do like freeze-dried fruits, you can do nuts. I have some little sprinkles just to decorate the top of our bars as well. So now we just let this harden. Being that it is a Couverture chocolate, we can just let it sit at room temperature. If you do want to speed it up, you can put it in the fridge to speed up the set, but never put it in the fridge for longer than 10 minutes because then it will start to get that moisture, start to go a bit gross, get your fat bloom. So we'll just put it aside and let that set, and then we'll demold them a little bit later. All right, our chocolate is all set. The way we can tell this is you can kind of see as chocolate cools, it contracts, so it will pull away from the plastic mold. If you're using a silicone mold, the silicone will just move with it, so you'll actually have to peel your chocolate away. It won't just fall out. But with this, it should just fall out. So I'm going to use a tray because I don't want them to fall and crack everywhere. But if I flip this, you should be good. All right, that worked. So you can see hopefully they're really, really quite shiny, which is what we want from tempered chocolate. Very, very, very shiny. And if I just flip this over, you can see the difference. So you can see how it's taken the shine from the plastic as opposed to the one that we just had on the top. But yes, so these look great. So good. And that is how you temper chocolate. like, is it hello or good morning? Oh God. Well. Hope you're not running the camera. No. Good. Catch my bad dancing. Yeah. Just to decorate the top of our bars as well. It's not actually open. Oh boy. Oh no. They're not quite set.